Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about joints. And here at the side you can see the diagrammatic representation of different types of joint for the reference. So let's start our topic with introduction. Joints are vital components of skeletal system that connect two or more bones, allowing movement and flexibility in the bone. Without joints, bones would be rigid and movement is impossible. Joints not only enable motion but also provide mechanical support and stability to the skeleton. They play a key role in everyday activities like walking, writing, running, and eating. Understanding the structure, classification, and function of joint is essential for appreciating how the body moves and maintain posture. Definition of joints. A joint or articulation is the point of contact between two bones, or maybe it is a point of contact between bone and cartilage, or bone and a tooth. Joints can be immovable, slightly movable, or freely movable, depending on their structure and function. Classification of joints. Joint can be classified into two main ways. First is their structural classification and second is their functional classification. First we will talk about its structural classification. This classification is based on type of tissue that connects the bone and whether or not a joint cavity is present. Types includes on the basis of structural classification. The first type is fibrous joint. These joints are held together by dense connective tissue and lack a joint cavity. They are usually immovable or slightly movable. Example of this include sutures in the skull and the joints between tibia and fibula. Next type of structural classification is cartilaginous joint. These joints are connected by cartilage and also do not have joint cavity. They allow limited movement. Examples include intervertebral disc and the pubic symphysis. Next type of joint on the basis of structure is synovial joint. These are the most movable type of joint. They have synovial cavity filled with fluid which reduce friction. Example of this include knee joint, shoulder joint and elbow joint. Now let's talk about functional classification of joints. This classification is based on degree of movement of joint allowed. First type of functional classification joint is synarthrosis. It is where the joints are immovable and such as sutures in skull. Next type of joints is amphiarthrosis. These joints allow slight movement like the joints between the vertebra. Next type of joints are diarthrosis. They are freely movable joints and all are synovial joints including those in the limbs. Now let's talk about structure of synovial joint. Synovial joints have a complex structure that include the following components. Articular cartilage, that is a smooth layer of hyaline cartilage that covers the ends of bone, reducing friction and absorbing shock. Second part of synovial joint is joint cavity, that is also called as synovial cavity. That is a space between articulating bones that is filled with synovial fluid. Next part is articular capsule. That is a two-layered structure enclosing the joint. The outer fibrous layer provides stability while the inner synovial membrane secretes synovial fluid. Next part of synovial joint is synovial fluid. That is a viscous fluid that lubricates the joint, nourishes cartilage and reduces friction. Next part is ligaments. That are strong bands of connective tissue that reinforce the joint and limit excessive movement. Next part of joint is tendon that connect muscles to bones and help stabilize the joint. Next part is bursae. That is a fluid-filled sac that reduces friction between moving parts near joints. Now let's talk about types of synovial joints. Synovial joints are further categorized based on the shape of their articulating surface and type of movement they permit. They include hinge joints that allow flexion and extension in one plane. Example of this include elbow joint and knee joint. Next type of synovial joint is ball and socket joint that allow movement in all directions including rotation. Example of this include shoulder joint and hip joint. Next type of synovial joint is pivot joint that allow rotational movement around a single axis. An example is the joint between the first and second cervical vertebra that is also called an atlantoaxial joint. Further, in types of joint we have is saddle joint that permits movement in two planes, that is found in thumb joint, that is also called as carpometacarpal joint. Next type of joint is condylite joint, that is also called as ellipsoid joint, that allow movement but no rotation. It is found in wrist joint. Next type of joint is gliding joint, that is also called as plane joint, that allows bones to glide over one another, found in the intercarpal region, joints of the wrist. Now let's talk about functions of joints. Joints perform a variety of important functions in the body. They enable movement, as joints allow bones to move relative to each other, facilitating locomotion and manipulation. Second type function is it provides stability while allowing movement. Joints also provide necessary stability to maintain posture and body structure. Third function is they support body weight, as joints help bear the weight of the body during the activities like walking, running, and standing. Next function is absorbing shock, as the cartilage and synovial fluid within the joint help cushion the bones against impact. Now let's talk about disorders and diseases of joints. Several conditions can affect joint functions and health. First is arthritis, a general term for inflammation of joint. It can be caused by age, infection, or autoimmune disorders. Common types include osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Second disorder or disease of joints is dislocation, that occurs when the bone in the joints become displaced. It often results from trauma and can be painful and damaging to surrounding tissue. Next, in disorders we have sprains, that involve stretching or tearing of ligaments surrounding a joint. It is usually due to sudden twisting or impact. Next disorder is bursitis, that is inflammation of bursae, which can cause pain and restrict movement. Next disorder is gout, that is a form of arthritis that can be caused by accumulation of uric acid crystals in the joint that usually affect big toe. Importance of joint health. Maintaining healthy joints is essential for a mobile and pain-free life. Preventive measures include regular exercise, as it strengthens the muscle around joint and maintain flexibility. Second, by balanced diet, as the balanced diet support bone and joint health, especially with calcium and vitamin D. We can also improve joint health by proper posture and ergonomics that reduce unnecessary stress on joints. We can also improve joint health by avoiding overuse and injury, as it is essential for long-term joint function. Conclusion of this lecture video. Joints are intricate and essential structures that enable a wide range of body movements while providing strength and stability. They vary greatly in structure and function, from the immobile joints in the skull to highly flexible shoulder joints. Maintaining joint health is vital for overall mobility and quality of life. Understanding their types, function, and care is fundamental in fields such as anatomy, medicine, physiotherapy, and sports science. And this was all about joints. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.